Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The content ahead is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the unfiltered federal courtroom testimony from the Sean Diddy Combs trial, as covered by Inner City Press. Buckle up, folks, because when Kanye West stormed into that courtroom, no one, absolutely no one, was ready for the bombshell he dropped. The air turned ice cold as jaws hit the floor. Kanye, staring dead ahead, unleashed a revelation that shook the entire gallery to its core. He claimed Sean Diddy Combs wasn't just a music titan. He's tangled up in the eerie, unexplained passing of the king of pop, Michael Jackson. And no, he wasn't speaking in riddles. Kanye testified that Diddy was linked to a sinister, hidden power web, one that might have engineered Jackson's tragic end. He zeroed in on Fahim Muhammad, Diddy's current security chief, who also guarded Michael during his final, fateful days. Kanye spilled chilling details about Michael's last, desperate phone call, alleging Jackson knew he was a target. And according to Kanye, Diddy was the puppet master behind it all. This wasn't a wild rant or some unhinged theory. This was a straight-up warning. In this video, we're tearing apart Kanye's jaw-dropping testimony, the piling evidence, and the twisted connections that could flip everything upside down. The courtroom was already a pressure cooker. Days of gut-wrenching testimonies had jurors rattled, but nothing could have prepped them for Kanye's entrance. Dressed in stark black, sunglasses off, hands trembling just a bit but voice rock solid, Kanye took the stand like he'd been gearing, up for this moment his entire life. "I'm not here to chat about beats," he declared. "I'm here to expose a murder." Gasps ripped through the room. The judge slammed the gavel for order, but the tension was a living, breathing beast. Kanye, cool as ice, laid it out. He wasn't just testifying about Diddy's actions, but his alleged role in what he called the calculated destruction of Michael Jackson. This ain't gossip mag nonsense or backstage whispers. Kanye accused the same shadowy forces that tried to silence him, through his ex-trainer Harley Pasternak, of surrounding Michael in his last moments. He pointed straight at Fahim Muhammad, now Diddy's longtime security head, who was Michael's personal protector just before his 2009 death. Kanye's claim, Fahim wasn't there to guard, he was there to ensure Michael stayed quiet. Kanye dropped a gut-punch quote, saying the same people who told him to toe the line or vanish had warned Michael with identical threats. "Defy us, and you won't see tomorrow," he recounted, a message he insists reached both him and Michael. But neither backed down. Then came the real shocker. Kanye said he'd heard Michael's final voicemail, shared in secrecy by the Jackson family. In it, Michael sounded panicked, breaths shallow, whispering like someone was eavesdropping. The last line, Kanye claimed, was a haunting plea. "Tell them it's Puffy. He knows. He's close." The gallery went dead silent. Jurors looked sick. Diddy gripped the table, his legal team scrambling in hushed chaos. Kanye just repeated, "Michael knew." He didn't stop there. Kanye obsessed over Fahim Muhammad, a name barely whispered in the public eye, vowing to expose who this guy really is, and why his ties to both Michael and Diddy scream suspicion. He posed a bone-chilling question. Why would the biggest star on the planet, Michael Jackson, hand his safety to a 20-year-old with zero elite security creds? Fahim, fresh out of Sacramento State at the time, somehow landed the gig guarding the most hunted celebrity alive. Weirder still, Kanye noted Fahim wasn't even Michael's pick. Testimony from the 2011 Conrad Murray trial tied his hiring to industry insiders, and guess who those threads lead back to? Sean Combs. Kanye alleged Fahim had been in Diddy's orbit for years, even off the books, and his role with Michael was more about control than safety. He told the jury Fahim had access to Michael's every move, his schedule, meds, staff, and worst of all, his deepest fears. Then, Kanye peeled back another layer. Fahim had spoken at the elite Wharton School, which Kanye flagged as a glaring warning sign, hinting at ties to military intelligence networks. "What kind of bodyguard lectures at Wharton?" he grilled the jury. "Not one with a weapon, one with a hidden agenda." He brought up whispers that Fahim allegedly wiped hard drives and erased footage from Michael's estate after his death. And now? This same man runs Diddy's empire, Kanye warned. He tied it to Lil Rod's lawsuit, which brands Fahim as the muscle behind a dark operation capable of making people and problems vanish. "First Michael Jackson," Kanye said. "They tried with me. Who's next?" Then he pivoted to a topic he's teased for years, but never tackled head-on in court. Handlers. These are the ghost-like figures, he claims, planted in stars' lives to manipulate and muzzle them. He called out his old trainer Harley Pasternak as his personal handler, someone who once texted him a threat to drag him back to Zombieland for stepping out of line. Staring down the jury, Kanye asked, "What happens to those who don't play their game? They lock you away. Or worse." He drew a razor-sharp line between Harley Pasternak and Fahim Muhammad, two different enforcers, two different icons, but one ruthless mission: total domination. Kanye claimed Michael Jackson had his own version of a Harley, but this one didn't just threaten to mess with his head. This one held the keys to his home, his meds, and his very life. Kanye laid out a sinister blueprint. Michael rises to godlike status, owning half of Sony's catalog, clashes with Tommy Mottola, protests in the open, and then, boom, he's unwell, medicated, and gone, with Fahim Muhammad calling the shots on his security. Then there's Kanye himself. He skyrockets to fame, takes on Adidas, the Grammys, Balenciaga, even Jay-Z, refusing to bow down. Suddenly, he's being dragged back to Zombieland, forced into facilities, losing deals, becoming, in his own words, a modern-day Michael. But Kanye wasn't done dropping bombs. He pointed to other legends: Prince, DMX, Whitney Houston, who dared to stand tall and paid the ultimate price. "Don't take my word for it," Kanye challenged. "Just look at the pattern. They crush us, and they smirk while doing it." The jury sat frozen, one member visibly emotional. Diddy? Stone-faced, but his body screamed tension. The judge called a quick break, but Kanye's words had already detonated. Things took an even darker twist as Kanye shared what he claimed was confided by a Jackson family insider: a final, haunting phone call from Michael just days before his end. A voicemail never heard by the masses, but allegedly preserved by someone close. Kanye said Michael's voice dripped with dread, pleading, "I don't feel safe. He's here. I know he is. They're after everything." Then, the gut-wrenching final words Kanye quoted: "Tell them it's Puffy. He knows. He's close. Protect the kids." The courtroom erupted in gasps. The judge barked for silence, but that bombshell hit like a freight train. Kanye alleged the call was made to someone trusted who missed the red flags. He painted Michael's last days as pure isolation, cut off from his real team, surrounded by strangers, what he called industry puppets wearing security badges. He zeroed in on Fahim Muhammad again. Why was a barely out-of-college kid in his early 20s guarding the biggest star on earth? Kanye demanded. Why did Michael's loyal security vanish? Why was Fahim planted there, and by whom? He tossed out a chilling detail. Michael's surveillance system conveniently failed the night he passed. A fortress of cameras, wiped clean, just like certain footage tied to Diddy mysteriously vanishing. Then Kanye unleashed a theory. That rocked the room. What if Michael's end wasn't meant to happen that way? What if it was a botched plan? Someone got spooked and cut the cord too soon. He highlighted the stakes. Michael's publishing rights worth billions. A comeback tour set to shatter records. That catalog, Kanye hissed, is worth spilling blood for. He wrapped it with a dagger. Michael's death was Sony's slickest deal ever. Kanye ripped open a Pandora's box, not just about Michael, but a chilling cycle he says has plagued music for decades. He shifted to a grim roll call of artists who, he claimed, fought the machine and were silenced. Either buried or broken. Whitney Houston, DMX, Prince, Amy Winehouse, Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Kanye recited their names like a funeral dirge. Each one tried to break free, speak truth, and now they're gone. He zeroed in on Prince, who battled Warner Brothers for his music soul, warning others about predatory labels. Prince ended up lifeless in an elevator, alone, after telling friends someone wanted him quiet. Then, Whitney. Kanye alleged she told Clive Davis she knew too much about certain wild gatherings linked to Diddy's world. Her chaotic final days? Not random, Kanye insisted. They paint you unstable, so your end doesn't need explaining. He brought up Left Eye, who, days before her tragic crash in Honduras, recorded a video claiming she was being stalked, spirits warning her of danger. Her car veers off a road with no barriers, Kanye said. Hunted, she called it. These aren't flukes, he argued. They're calculated cleanups of defiant stars. When you're no longer useful to the system, when you talk, when you own too much, you're a threat, he warned. Then, another name. Biggie Smalls. Think it's random his case is still unsolved? Kanye pressed. or that the last man standing from that era is Diddy, Sean Combs, and his untouchable empire? Kanye painted Diddy's brand as more than music. It's raw power, manipulation, a mask for something far uglier. Citing Lil Rod's lawsuit, which accuses Diddy of orchestrating events involving coercion and payoffs, Kanye told the jury that's just the tip. The real game, he claimed, is control, influence, and erasing risks. He alleged Diddy's network spans executives, politicians, even ex-intelligence operatives. This is why people vanish, why cases dissolve, Kanye roared. You don't fight this with lawyers. You fight with exposure. He mentioned federal raids on Diddy's properties, hinting at unseen evidence. Tunnels, files, names. Some of those names still rule this industry. Some sit in this room, he teased. Then he exposed what he dubbed the pyramid, a web of assistants, stylists, producers, trainers, guards, and attorneys, all tasked with one thing: silence and surveillance. You can't leave. You can't speak. If you do, you're done. Or worse, Kanye warned. He fingered Fahim Muhammad as the muscle, the one who issues orders, wipes evidence, and delivers ultimatums. The final blow? Fahim was there when Michael fell. He's here now. What's different? Kanye closed with a line that burned. The industry didn't just end Michael, it turned his tragedy into a blueprint. As Kanye unleashed these accusations in open court, the room sat paralyzed. His claims weren't vague. They were precise, piercing, and devastating. Diddy remained still at the defense table, but sharp eyes caught his jaw tighten, fingers twitch, and urgent whispers to his lawyers. His polished mask was cracking. Kanye's words weren't just testimony, they were thunder. At one point, Kanye locked eyes with Diddy and said, slow and deliberate, "You know what you did? You watched a king crumble." The room buzzed with murmurs. The judge hammered for order and reporters scribbled frantically, capturing history as it unfolded. According to courtroom artists and legal insiders, Diddy visibly shook his head at Kanye West's blistering accusations, but he didn't refute them. No outbursts, no objections, just a man looking trapped. A Rolling Stone reporter tweeted, "Diddy's face went empty like he'd lost the reins." Kanye flipped the entire room with one searing line, and he wasn't stopping. He dove into past conversations with Michael Jackson, claiming, "He told me he was terrified. People were tailing him. He felt someone in his own house was plotting against him." Kanye admitted Michael never named Diddy back then, but the description of a key figure, young, eerily calm, always lurking, matched Fahim Muhammad. Someone Michael didn't choose. Someone he didn't trust. This wasn't Kanye unhinged. It was Kanye unloading a burden he'd carried for years. The courtroom wasn't witnessing a celebrity spiral. They were seeing a man lay bare a haunting truth. "I'm not here to play games," Kanye declared. "I'm here because a legend was taken and someone built a fortune off his grave." That cutting jab, a subtle nod to Diddy's 2010 music catalog deals, and a rumored $700 million empire partly fueled by Michael's demise, sent shockwaves. It wasn't just the money, it reframed the motive. Kanye painted a chilling image. Michael Jackson was worth more gone than breathing, and someone made sure that shift happened with surgical precision. Kanye's testimony didn't just explode. In the courtroom, it ignited a global firestorm. The second it hit live streams and social media, a media frenzy unlike anything in years erupted. Headlines screamed across every platform, from CNN to TMZ. Kanye West accuses Diddy of Michael. Jackson's downfall. Courtroom erupts as Kanye points finger at Diddy for MJ's end. But what stopped the world cold was the Jackson family's response. Jermaine Jackson posted a raw Instagram message. "Kanye spoke the truth we couldn't for 15 years. My brother was taken, and the industry knows it." LaToya Jackson, through her attorney, added fuel. "I've said it before. Michael didn't just pass from an overdose, he was silenced. We're ready to testify under oath." Then came the bombshell leaks, internal emails allegedly from an anonymous AEG whistleblower, hinting executives knew Michael was unfit for his tour, but pushed forward regardless. One chilling line read, "He doesn't need to be healthy, just alive for opening night." Kanye's words had cracked open a vault. Former Jackson staff started reaching out to the court, offering testimony. One claimed they saw unknown security, faces in Michael's home the night before his passing. Another said Michael was so paranoid, he'd blast music to mask voices he swore were being fed through the walls. Meanwhile, legal analysts began digging into Fahim Muhammad's role, questioning why he wasn't grilled during Conrad Murray's trial. A retired detective from the 2009 Jackson case admitted, "We overlooked something. This might not just be bad doctoring, it could be a setup." Every major news outlet ran heated panels. Some branded Kanye's claims as wild conspiracies. Others dissected his testimony word for word, lingering on his haunting warning, "They're still watching us." Public opinion flipped overnight. Kanye wasn't trending for music. He was trending for possibly tearing the lid off a truth many long suspected. As the court recessed after his testimony, the courthouse buzzed with raw energy. Security tightened, reporters scrambled to verify rumors of Jackson family subpoenas, and the judge reportedly held an emergency meeting with both legal teams to grapple with the weight of these accusations. The case against Diddy had just veered into historic territory. Diddy's defense tried to brush off Kanye's words as baseless personal rants, but the public wasn't biting. Social media detonated with clips of Kanye saying, "They label me unhinged, but I'm just the only one spitting the real story." Behind closed doors, sources say prosecutors are reevaluating witness lists. Fahim Muhammad, once a shadow, is now a name buzzing with urgency. Whispers suggest federal investigators are dusting off old Jackson files, especially with the resurfaced voicemail and fresh testimonies coming to light. But the most heart-wrenching twist came from Michael's children. An insider revealed Paris Jackson privately confided to friends that she believes her father's end wasn't accidental. Prince Jackson allegedly posted, then deleted, a tweet, saying, "My dad feared this industry, and now I see why." This trial isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's a full-on reckoning for the music world, its buried secrets, its dark past, and its iron grip on power. Kanye West, once written off as erratic, has planted himself at the epicenter of history. The burning question hanging in the air: will this testimony shift the tide? Because if Kanye's right, and Diddy had even a sliver of a role in the fall of the greatest performer to ever grace a stage, then this isn't just a trial, it's Judgment Day.